I've been asked to discuss the 4-day week and why I believe it is better than a 5-day week. I've done this several times in the past, and today I will cover the highlights and answer any board member questions to avoid being repetitive with detailed charts. I think it is important to note this 4-day week model is not common for our region of the nation, as Chattooga represents one of 2 districts in the state of Georgia. However, across the nation, West Coast to Midwest regions, hundreds of schools use a 4-day week model with success. As reported last year in an article by USA Today, many other schools from the Midwest states to the East Coast are entertaining the model. School districts are piloting the 4-day week model, all for different reasons. We could actually consider ourselves progressive. There's a lot of misinformation concerning the benefits of a 4-day week, but the first and most obvious one is a statement recently printed on the front of someone used that school is in session only 80% of the week and our students are missing out on a full education. That statement is not true. As I will show you in the next few minutes, our 4-day schedule provides our children more instructional time than a 5-day schedule and saves you approximately $750,000 a year, plus numerous other educational benefits. However, I do agree that the school system should select the best schedule that puts the children in the classroom as much as possible, because if you do not go to class, you will not pass. But before I discuss this item, I must give you a Georgia State DOE definition of instructional time, or as many call it, seat time. Instructional time: all portions of the school day when instruction or instruction-related activities on state-approved courses are provided or coordinated by a certified teacher or substitute teacher. Rest periods, recesses, breaks, class change time, and lunch periods are not considered to be instructional time. It is not how long you stay at school, but how long you are in a class with a teacher receiving instruction. The Georgia Department of Education dictates how much time students must be in classes each year, and our 4-day calendar exceeds that requirement. In fact, we are in the classroom far more hours for instructional training as defined by the Georgia DOE in a 4-day week going 150 days than schools are in a 5-day week going 180 days. According to the Georgia DOE, schools are required to be in class for grades 6 through 12, 59,400 minutes a year. The state determines those hours by taking 180 instructional days and multiplying that by 330 instructional minutes required per day, and that total is 59,400 minutes each year is how long we are required to go to school. Students are required to attend fewer hours in grades below the 6th grade. However, in setting up our 4-day-a-week schedule, we use the maximum number of required hours as if we were going 5 days a week and 180 days, and then we schedule those classes in our 4-day, 150-day schedule. We exceed the Georgia DOE's instructional time requirement for 180 days, and we do it in only 4 days, and we do this at a cost savings of an estimate over $750,000 a year. Just a comment here. Why would you want to give our students less instructional time as you would in a 5-day schedule and pay $750,000 more than you would in 4 days? And you can do it in 4 days. I will now provide you with the calculations that prove my statement. I'll go through this fairly quickly. I'll be able to repeat if the board members would like me to, but it's just a basic understanding of how I can show you that we're in the classroom for instructional training more in a 4-day than 5. On a 4-day and a 5-day, they both have 7 periods. The change is on a 5-day, each period is 50 minutes long, which gives you 350 minutes per day in instructional training. In a 4-day, it's 7 periods a day, but our classes are 62 minutes long, which gives you 434 minutes in a 4-day training day. That's 84 minutes a day you are in training, you have instructional training, than you do on a 5-day. When you take the 350 minutes in the 5-day and multiply that times 180, you get 63,000 minutes. When you take our 430 minutes that we're in classroom learning environment in a day and multiply it times 150 days, you get 65,100 minutes. That's 2,100 more minutes that you have our students in a classroom under instruction in a 4-day versus a 5-day. When you convert that time to a 5-day, what happens is in 5 days you go the equivalent of 180 days, but in 4 days you go the equivalent of 186 days. Again, you get more instructional time in a 4-day schedule than you do in a 5-day schedule. If you want to go back to 5 days, you will be reducing the time the students are in class for learning, and it's cost you $750,000 a year, estimated. We provide our students the equivalent of 186 days a year of instruction on our 4-day, 150-day weeks calendar, and schools on a 5-day calendar get only 180 school days. In addition, we are able to build into a week, in a week of snow days, and we are scheduled to make up our 4 snow days. The state does not require schools to make up these 4 days, and many schools will not make them up. But our 4-day schedule allows us more flexibility to do this. I want to make sure that all board members understand that our kids are in class receiving instruction from a teacher more in a 4-day schedule than in a 5-day schedule, and we save over estimated $750,000. Do y'all understand? I'll go to the next portion. I'm again understanding that to go to a 5-day, you will reduce the instruction time. So we're in there. So when people say, what they do is they try to take the days and they say 20% of 5 is 1, so therefore you're cutting from 5 to 4, 20%. Again, that is not true. You will be in the classroom with an instructor teaching you 186 days to 180 days. And we do that, as I say again, 4 days, 150 days, save the money. Very foolish to change. What I was saying here is how much money have we saved on a 4-day? Our estimate savings are around $750,000 a year on a 4-day schedule. When you look at the salary alone, there'll be some discussion on how much we save on power and some of the other things. Salary alone, we will have to increase $484,744. So to go from 4 days to 5 days, reducing the amount of time now that the students get, we will pay $500,000 for salaries. And what are those salaries? Those are individuals like Parapros, like bus drivers, anyone which we're paying 32 hours on a 4-day. Also, we're looking at power, bus fuel, maintenance, and things of this nature, and we did a breakdown to come up with these figures. That's going to cost you about $300,895, which comes up to the bill of $785,589, or $750,000 a year, and those are just basic things. I want to go through because if we start taking away the $750,000, there's some things of expenses that we pay that we'd really have to take a look at. We may not be able to do that. One thing that we've done, and I'm proud of this, and we do this, and the teachers raise, our pay scale is 1% higher than the state pay scale. That's an estimated cost of $150,000 a year. We do that so we can recruit outstanding teachers, and we want to keep our teachers. So when they come in for an interview, we lay that pay scale and say we pay you more than the state. We looked at in fiscal year 16 at our Parapros. Our Parapros, we felt that we needed to raise their pay. We gave them a 10% raise at that time, which is about $100,000 a year every year, and we'll continue out until we give them another raise. Insurance increases. One of the biggest increases that we're going to see. This is for non-teachers. Teachers' insurance is costing a little more. Non-teachers cost us in fiscal year 10 $163 a month for insurance, and it has increased every year. And in fiscal year 19, for the non-teachers, it's costing $946 per employee per year. That means in fiscal year 10, we paid $173,786. But in fiscal year 19, we're going to pay $1,179,360. That's an increase to $1,161,974. We pay that. It's a lot of money to pay. Yes, we do get money from the state for a lot of things, but we do not get enough money to pay all the things that we have to pay. But these are things that we've been paying. Here's another one. This is very upsetting to me in the teacher retirement system. I want to maintain the teacher retirement system, but in fiscal year 10, our costs were 9.74% of the teacher salary per month. In fiscal year 19, it's 20.9%. That means you have a fiscal year 10 yearly cost of $1.7 million. The 2019 cost is $2.9 million for an increase of $1.2 million. I throw these things out here because a lot of things are increasing, but the state money that we get is not keeping up with that. Just for the teacher retirement alone, starting in July, we have to increase what we paid in the past. Just for this 1 year, $627,763. Computers. We've been buying massive computers over the last few years because the test that we now take, well, it used to be a pen and pencil, is now a computer. So we have to have computers for all our students. And we have computers now for all our students. That was very expensive over the last few years. In technology, we have the best technology that you'll have in any school system anywhere. I estimate in CHS alone, the high school, that we spent over $2 million to bring that technology up. Because our children should have the best, and we make sure that we manage our money to make sure that that happens. Buses. We try to buy buses 3 a year. They've not done that in the past. We've done it the last few years. Buses are about $85,000 a piece, which comes to $255,000. Mike Jared back there has been very good at getting us grants, but we've still been spending about $100,000 a year for buses, and we need to continue that. Here's the thing that I think the board's the most proudest of, or one of the most things. We've decreased the millage rate for 5 years in a row. 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. And I intend on recommending to the board that we cut it again for 2018. Days back in the calendar. When they first went on 4 days, they cut 10 days out of the calendar. This is money that was coming out of our employees, especially our teachers. There were 10 days that were not working. It was also causing us to not have the time that we need to teach the children. We put 10 days back into the schedule for teachers since school year 14-15 at a cost of about $1 million a year. We added 6 days back to the students' calendars for school year 14-15. And it has been said in the past, what are we doing this money? Am I blowing in? Am I spending it? Am I putting it in the bank? Well, we've also been putting it in the bank. Our bank account has increased since the 4-day week started. In October 2009, our fund balance was a negative $530,920. $500,000 we were in the hole in that time. We were anticipating that. Now our fund balance at the same time, which is October of 2017, the other one's 29. In 2017, we had a fund balance of $3,943,750. That's an increase of $4.5 million. So if you want to know where the $5 million is at, you can say it's in the bank account, if that's what you want to say, but we must remember that we're not here to save money. We're here to spend money on our children to give them what they need. There's no way that our children should have to do without anything if we have the funding. I'm not going to save the money in the bank so I can show you that I didn't blow in $5 million. I'm going to show you where I spent it, what I spent it for. I have never, in this board, since 2009, has never had a tax anticipation note, as other people have. The TAN, they call it. In 2009, when I said they were running out of money, they signed a TAN for $1.2 million. I was not the superintendent at that time. Since that time, we have never had to have a tax anticipation note in the Board of Education. It was 2009. So we have not had one. I do not anticipate one. Some people say that we need to have people that are in the superintendent's job that have business administration, minor in economics, etc. It'll be very difficult if you find anyone that is in education, in a superintendent's job, that has a business degree in economics. Oh my goodness, I do. I have a BS in business administration. I have a minor in economics, and also have a master's degree in education with especially in math. So I think that I'm qualified to do economics. And I'll show you there that I have balanced our budget for a long time with the support of the board. We have not taken a TAN. We have money in the bank. We bought a lot of things. The general fund, end of year balance 2009. The end of the year would be June 30th. So in June 30th, 2009, we had $1,134,755. In 2017, we had $5,848,234.76. That again is 4.7. People forget that in the year of 2008, we were getting approximately $17 million from the state. In 2012, we were getting $10 million. So we had to also adapt and cut $7 million out of our budget from the state. We are getting that money closer back, and we're moving in the right direction, but we must not foolishly waste money and go into a 5-day when it would cost us $750,000 and give our children less training time, less time with a teacher in the classroom. Because again, if you don't have time in the classroom, if you do not go to class, you will not pass. Here's another thing. The arts were taken out in the 5-day. We've been able to put art, chorus, band, and CTAE courses back in our schools. We've been able to purchase new band instruments. I don't know if they'd ever bought band instruments since I was in the band. Or excuse me, when Gene was in the band. I was on the football team, sorry. We've been able to purchase new band instruments, tuxedos, and dresses for our band and chorus members. I was very disappointed that when we'd have these concerts and we'd have to run up to Walmart and buy them a pair of pants and a shirt to try to get them to match. So we have bought tuxedos. They look wonderful. We bought dresses for the band, for the chorus. We look like a professional organization. That was just a few of our purchases. We now provide, here's another thing that we provide. We now provide buses at no cost to our student activities, where in the past they had to pay $1 a mile to use the buses. We were charging little kids so they could go somewhere to visit a pumpkin patch or to go to anywhere. They had to pay $1 a mile on these buses. We had to make up money. It was money that they did not have. We made the decision, and Mike's done very good back there, that we don't charge them to use our buses anymore. That cost us about $45,000 a year, and I think that's well spent. Training. By having a 4-day week, it allows us to do our teacher training on Mondays without having students losing instructional time because of their teacher being absent because of training. In addition, teachers, students, and other personnel can schedule their dentist, doctor, and other requirements they might have without missing instructional time. Yes, our test scores are lower than we all want them to be, but it's not a reflection of a 4-day week. As I covered earlier, that students get more instructional time in a 4-day week than they do in a 5-day week. So it's all experts believe the more instructional time a student can get, the better they should perform on tests. So if we go back to 5 days a week, you'll get less instructional time. Let's look at the last few years when the district was on 5 days a week. Some of our schools had been taken over academically by the state. I say that again. Some of our schools had been taken over academically by the state. In particular, at the end of 2009 school year, when we were still on the 5-day schedule. Due to poor academic performance, we were put on the needs improvements list with failing schools, specifically Chattooga High School and Somerville Middle School. The state DOE worked with us, and we were removed from the list. This all occurred on the 5-day schedule. All our schools met or exceeded the state expectation requirements for our school year in 2017. I say again, for 2017. The state determines where you should be, and the state said we're at or above where you should be. In addition, we identified in the spring of 2016 that we needed to change a few things. In the summer of 2016, we established our success team, and our CCRPI increased from 2016 to 2017 over 11% in the first year of their establishment. I think we all should take our hats off and applaud our success team for that occurring. 11% in 1 year is unheard of. The state only increased 1.9%. So we were 11.3 plus. The state was 1.9%. Again, a tremendous thing that they did. We've instituted other measures to improve our test scores, and we should not change course when we have just completed a year with such tremendous increase. In summary, on our 4-day calendar, we are in the classroom and exceed the instructional time requirement as defined by the Georgia DOE. Using our 4-day-a-week calendar, our students get more instructional hours than using our 5-day-week calendar. We exceed the Georgia DOE's instructional time requirement for 180 days, and we do it in only 4 days, and we do this at a cost savings of over $750,000. Why would you want to give our students less instructional time as you do in a 5-day schedule and pay $750,000 more when you can do it in 4 days? As you can see from the above factual data, the projected expense increases. We will need this saved money to prevent from having to reduce the things we're able to give our students. Example, we don't want to cut back art, chorus, band, CTE courses in our schools. In addition, we increased our CCRPI scores from 2016 to 2017 by over 11%. And our high school, had the highest graduation rate in the history of the schools, of the whole district, the highest ever, in 94%. And if you want to compare the district, when we do take in our alternative school, we were above the state average in that, also around 83%. We're not about to be taken over by the state. They're not going to take somebody over with those things that I just read about. We just received notification from the state. All schools, as I said, are on track. We met the state requirements for progress in 2017. Please stay with us a little longer on the 4-day schedule. Don't waste $750,000 when 5-day reduces our students' instructional classroom time. Don't force us to make cuts in programs that we have been able to put back in school for our children. Please stay with us a little longer. We are improving. Stay with the 4-day week and continue the progress. However, I ask the board, just give me one area that our school system is doing worse today than it was under our previous 5-day schedule. Any questions, board members?